I was pulling 1.5-inch hose, which is really heavy. Typically you have more than one person with hose like that. And I started putting out spot fires, and I watered the trees that were nearby, because those are often the problem. And I thought it was all right. And then there was a fire on the second floor, and I got another ladder and I pulled the hose up, and and at that point, all right, not a problem. And then it got very smoky, and the climate changed, and I found myself in the middle of a firestorm, and I couldn't breathe. And I went back over to my place of shelter in this rock just to get a breath. And at that moment, I sat there and I thought, wow, this is how it happens. This is like when you're stranded on the top of the mountain and you just decide to go to sleep. It was a lot of work, and it was really hard. I was completely surrounded, and there was no airdrops, nothing. And I'm sitting on the rock, and I look down and I see a dead rat with his legs up in the air right in front of me. And that was my lucky rat. Bad for him, but my lucky rat, because I looked at him and I thought, I'm not going to end up like that rat. And I jumped up, grabbed my hose again, and I fought the fire until I had no more water. I got into my car, I started down the road. I couldn't see, my corneas were burned. I drove down the road to a certain point, not very far. There was fire on both sides, big cloud of smoke. And I thought, I don't know what's on the other side of that smoke. I see flame. So I could barely see to do it, but I backed up the road knowing that I was backing up into area that had burned and I'd be safe.
I was convinced that my dad was dead, 100%, but I would not leave the bottom of the hill. I could not leave the bottom of the hill. Every car that came by, every single person that came by, I was stopping them, and every one of them said, no, Sparky has not come down. Eventually, my dad came down the hill, and I was really pissed at him. I had to kind of let go of that. I was really glad to see him. He looked like a ghost, or like Beetlejuice or something. His eyes he had like singed eyebrows. It was insane. And he broke down in tears. I mean, he had lost everything. I mean, one of the fire captains said that when they were looking at this wreckage, were shocked that